Hello Fallout people, welcome to my thoughts about the new DLC Automatron that is dropping tomorrow. Now I've got a few bits of speculation in here and it's going to be spoilery a little bit and it's going to spoil Fallout 3 if you've not played that one as well. So, you know, if you don't want to be spoiled, look away now and hit the big red X. Don't hit the big red X. Just put it on mute and let it play. It's fine. So anyway, Automatron, it's a DLC. It's going to be part of the base game, I think, and it's going to be in the Wasteland, the current one. So it doesn't seem to be, because you're building robots in the Wasteland, there doesn't seem to be any kind of separate map or area like there have been in previous DLCs. So that looks like interesting. It looks like it's more to enhance the base game than anything else. So yes, we get to build robot companions. That's the big draw, apparently. But I don't know. I feel a bit, you know, meh about that. I mean, robots themselves. I mean, yes, you can have a robot companion and make it interesting. But crafting your own robot companions, it doesn't seem to be like a companion or interesting as the real ones. So let's be honest, Bethesda only got one or two of the companions right anyway. So, you know, the personality thing isn't there in the actual companions. For most of them, Hancock for life. So yeah, you can build robots that you walk around with your companion and they replace... I don't know if they replace dog meat. I don't even know if they're a replacement for companions or a secondary companion. If they were a secondary companion, I'd be more inclined to be okay with it, I think. So yes, you can upgrade and piece together new robot bits that you find from other robots. But, okay, that's a thing. I guess I'll wait and see how that works out. I mean, it seems a little bit lackluster since go make some guns, go make some armor, go make some handheld weapons seems to be a big focus of the game. Anyway, now you just have to go make some robots. Meh. It seems a bit lackluster, you know. It's not great. However, the story, they have leaked a little bit of the story. And the story is where it gets a bit interesting. So, as far as I know, you find a robot called Ada. This is Ada. I'm not sure how you find her yet. And I'm pretty sure it's a her. And I guess she encourages you to commit, you know, toast-aside on all her remaining robot brethren. Because they're in league with the Mechanist. Oh, wait. Wrong picture. Sorry. The Mechanist! No. Wait, that's wrong as well. Wait. The Mechanist? Yeah. So, the Mechanist isn't a person, it's a costume. Let's be honest. And the Mechanist appeared in Fallout 3 as part of a quest in the area of Canterbury Commons. And it was called the Superhuman Gambit. So, in Fallout 3, as you approach the Commons, the Mechanist is facing off with the Ant Agonizer. Yeah. So we've got robots versus ants, and they're spewing out cliches like they have a Fantastic Four movie on in the background. For those of you who like Fantastic Four, what's wrong with you? Sorry. Personal opinions. Anyway, so you're tasked to clean up the town, and you can take out like the Mechanist or the Antagonizer or both, and you can either be hostile or you can be peaceful, and you know. So the Antagonizer is like a troubled woman whose family was killed by ants, which doesn't quite add up to me, but you know, that's it. The Mechanist, on the other hand, is a man named Scott, or Bean, I think was his like alternate name. Anyway, you can convince Scott to give up his superhero ways by telling him that he's like hurting the town. You can do Black Widow, you can do Child at Heart, you know, but basically, you're hurting people, you better stop it. But the interesting part here, and the thing that we have to remember about Scott, is that when he gives up his superhero ways, he gives the suit to the Lone Wanderer and never wants to be a superhero again. So, because of the way he acts, I'm pretty sure that Scott is not the Mechanist. So, who is the Mechanist? And where did he come from? Now, the thing we need to know is that the Mechanist was a villain in the comic, the Silver Shroud. Comic of the Silver Shroud? I think it might be only radio plays. The Silver Shroud radio plays, which Kent, does stuff. Anyway, the Mechanist thought that robots should replace people and rule the world and blah, 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 blah. So, it is entirely possible for two separate whack jobs to come up with the idea of the Mechanist on their own from, like, the ideas in the play. Entirely possible. But Boston and DC, they're not too far from each other, really. And the incidents in this, like Fallout 3 and Fallout 4 are only like 10 years apart. Plus, we know that the DC to Boston route has been walked before by this guy, who used to be this guy. So yeah, in the 10 years between 3 and 4, MacReady grew up and moved down to Boston to check for a cure for his kid. So it's not impossible that Scott chased off and came to Boston to run amok. But based on his attitude, I don't think that's true. So I doubt it, No, he was too defeated. I can't do it. Plus, to be fair, and if you're anything like me, you murdered him for his gun. His gun was awesome. So who do I think is the Mechanist? This is what you all want to know. I think the Mechanist is Derek Passione. Passione? Derek Passione. Yeah. What, does that not ring any bells? Not at all? Nothing? Okay, so how about this kid? The t-shirt gives it away, right? There's like literally the only thing that he's got. Anyway, Derek used to live in Canterbury Commons when the Antagonizer and the Mechanist were fighting, and he was like early teens, 10 to early teens-ish. And he loved those fights, loved every moment of it, and until the Lone Wanderer got rid of them. And this probably... Well, imagine superheroes were real. How would you feel that if some weirdo came along and then said, no more superheroes, you must not see any coolness, your life must be boring drudgery in the wastelands where you have very little food, very little entertainment? You'd be bored as hell. Forever. And of course, little Derek, did love his superheroes, and he lived right next door to the Robot Repair Centre, which was where the Scott version of the Mechanist built his army of awesome. I'm going to go for awesome here. So, that would, is he the Mechanist? I mean, are we going to see the third child from Fallout 3 make an appearance in Fallout 4? And yes, I did say the third. MacReady wasn't the only child star to make it in Boston. If you go to the Citadel in Fallout 3, you'll find a child that's called Arthur Maxon. Yes, that Arthur Maxon. Yep, the big bad boss of the Brotherhood was also in Fallout 3 as a little witty child. But yeah, this whole idea of bringing children from Fallout 3 to Fallout 4 seems to be a thing that they enjoy to do. So my thought is that's what they're going to do here. That will be the third child that they bring through. I mean, MacReady was obviously a big name character. Arthur Maxon you could probably miss, but Derek Passione is sort of in between those two. But if you bring back Maxon and MacReady, he is sort of like would be the only other one would be Brian Wilkes, and nobody likes Brian Wilkes. He would be the only kid that you would bring back for like a third time that I'm thinking of anyway. So why change what works? I mean, Derek Passione could be the Mechanist, disillusioned from a life of fighting the good fights, when his life is actually really, really freaking boring. But there is another thing that people have been arguing about. So that's this thing. The new Mechanist appears to be wearing a Pip-Boy. I mean, granted, it's not like the Pip-Boys that you normally know. But people are saying, he's wearing a Pip-Boy, it must come from a vault. Well, no. A screen on your arm doesn't make it a Pip-Boy. And you're also talking about an electronics expert with access to, you know, a wasteland that houses Institute scrap. It's entirely feasible that he made it. Besides, Pip-Boys aren't rare. I mean, if you go to Vault 81, they have a whole bunch of them. They let people in. And they let people into trade. I mean, there is a certain amount that one of their spare Pip-Boys would go for. It's you know, he could have come to the wasteland and gone, Pip-Boy, 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 and it would be fine. But, you know, there are also vaults everywhere. And, in fact, if you look at the map of Fallout 3 where Canterbury Commons is, what's this that's like a minute's walk? Literally a minute's walk, I actually timed this. From Canterbury Commons down south, this building, this one, you see this one that I'm talking about? Yep, that is Vault 108. Now, Vault 108 is where a bunch of Garys live. Gary is a clone that's murderous to everyone. Or at least, where a bunch of Garys lived. Lived because the Lone Wanderer went in and murdered them all. At least my Lone Wanderer did, and most Lone Wanderers do, I think, because everybody likes the Gary Vault because it's weird. You know, and after the Lone Wanderer got through with them, what are they? A bunch of corpses with Pip-Boys attached. How did the sole survivor get her Pip-Boy? By stealing it off a corpse. I think, and forgive me if I'm wrong, and I'm likely to be wrong because I'm wrong about most things most of the time. Derek Passione went... I don't know. Pacquione? I don't know. You decide. Went to Vault 108, got a Pip-Boy, started learning how to make robots, moved to Boston, made his murderous robot army, and this is how we get the Mechanist. Problem solved, bish bash bosh, job done. I've been Zombie Cleo. This has been my thoughts and speculations for Automatron. Class dismissed.